everybody. Welcome to Rockinboxes Presents this week. And welcome, everybody. I'm glad to have on the show this week a upcoming YouTuber, a good friend of mine. We've made friends, you know, in this world of YouTube. He does great videos. He's an urban explorer. He does abandoned locations. Guys, please welcome to the show this week, Braham Bones, my good buddy Bonesy. How you doing, bud?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on. Glad to see everybody here. Real excited.
Yeah, me too. And if you would like to comment, just please comment in the links that we sent. Braham sent them on his Facebook, and I've sent them and through Twitter and all that. So let's get right into it there, big guy. So first off, I want to know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to know, how did you get into YouTubing to begin with?
Oh boy. I mean, I guess a few years ago I started watching a lot of YouTube because, I mean, who has cable anymore? So that was one of my primary sources of entertainment. I started watching a lot of like travel and urban exploration videos. Those are the ones that really kind of caught me. I was just like super fascinated by these abandoned locations that just sat there and people got to find them and go inside. So I just kind of decided one day that I think that's something I'd like to try doing. So I basically just got a camera and I headed out and, you know, saw what kind of trouble I could get into.
Right on. I'm just gonna mute. Okay, there we go. So whenever we're doing the Q&A, don't forget to mute unless you did already. I didn't do it last week. I forgot to mute and tell my guests to mute the YouTube part where you can look for the questions, you know, the question period there. So it looks like there's a bunch of people on already, and so that's wicked. I'm really, you know, I'm also into the urban, you know, abandoned kind of things too, and I think what caught my eye was a YouTuber that we both know. It's pretty popular on YouTube, and that's where I started my YouTube experience. But for yourself, you're in Los Angeles, correct?
Yes. Well, I'm in Orange County, which is a little south of Los Angeles, but I mean, it's still Southern California. It's all the same.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, sure.
So, whenever you, you know, your day, how do you prep for like, say, do you have something in mind? Do you drive by places? Do you scout out places? Because that's what I sort of do. But how do you do things?
There's a couple of different ways I go about it. The first thing I usually do is I go online. I check all the internet sources. I look for other YouTube videos. I'll do, you know, like Reddit or different websites. There's a couple websites that kind of just have a map of what's around you that could be interesting. Some of them have abandoned locations, but those are the harder ones to find. I don't do only abandoned locations, but I will do my primary research on the internet. There have been times where I just kind of got my car and drove around. I was like, okay, what can I film? What looks cool? And I'll scout it out, go back home, do some research, and I normally do my filming. I like to start early in the morning, so I'll prep the night before, make sure I have everything in order, get up the next morning, and I prepare for a whole day of filming.
Oh, really? And for yourself, I know about like editing and that kind of stuff. I mean, do you take a few days, or is there something sometimes that excites you that you really want to get it up right away? How does that work out for you? Everybody's got their own way, right? So
yeah. So editing, I really like to edit, but that's kind of the hard part for me. A lot of the times I will film, you know, maybe an hour more of footage in a day. So it's kind of daunting to figure out how I'm going to get that into a 10 to 20 minute segment. Sometimes I'll do like a day trip and I'll film maybe 2 or 3 different locations. That way I can have, you know, if I do end up with a large amount of footage, I can split it up into different videos. But I do feel like I take a bit of time editing. I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, so I want it to be a certain way, and I'll always go back and re-edit what I already edited to make
Right.
sure it looks good. And I mean, a lot of people go for a really raw, unedited feel, but I'm more of a fan of the cinematic feel. I like it to seem like you're kind of watching like a TV show almost. I know I have like an intro and I'll do end credits. Not a lot of people do that, and it might be. I'm not sure if everybody likes it, but I like the way it looks. It gives it a more polished look, even if my videos are, all shaky and whatever. It still gives you kind of the feel like I might know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you are very much like me, and I've said this to you before. We both have similar styles when it comes to the YouTube videos that we both do. I do have that shakiness. I have to admit that I do have bad nerves. So when I'm holding the camera for a long time, my hand starts to go ballistic, and so does this one.
Right.
From when I was in my construction days, but that's something that you profess over time, and obviously with your videos, I mean, you are you're new to it, and I've been doing it for at least 2 years, but what you do and where you are, you have a lot of opportunities and great places that you can visit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
So I mean, like, what is there something on your bucket list that you would absolutely love to do?
I have an ongoing list that probably has about 50 spots I really want to go to. Um, they're mostly around here. I want to try to branch out. I really like doing movie filming locations, so I'd like to head into LA to do some more of those. I want to go on more road trips. I have a road trip kind of in the back of my mind that would take me through about, I want to say 4 or 5 different ghost towns in the middle of the desert, which that's like a dream for me. I'm looking at an abandoned military air base that's nearby here. They're starting to build on that, so I really want to get in there and do that pretty soon. But it's a huge location. I'm definitely going to need somebody else to go with me. I'm always kind of seeing if there's other like-minded YouTubers around, see if they'd want to do any abandoned locations. But yeah, I've always got stuff going on in the back of my head. I got tons of different things. I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into just abandoned. Yeah, I don't want to do just abandoned videos because I like doing videos where I can provide more information. That was one of the things I noticed when I was watching a lot of people beforehand that did what I do. They didn't provide a lot of information, so I wanted to do a little more of that. I have a couple theme park videos, actually just one right now. I got more in the works, but I like giving the history on like theme parks, or I will go to grave sites of celebrities and I'll give some info on that. But lost my train of thought.
Oh, that's okay. No worries.
But yeah, no, always looking at places, always trying to branch out, get something cool, something different. But yeah, always looking for the next cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to read off a few comments that already people have started to chime in, and some people, especially this girl, her name's Haley. She's asking if she could pick your next hair color. Say hello, Haley.
We'll see about that. Hi, Haley. I wouldn't be opposed to doing a crazy color, but at the moment with my day job, I think this is as crazy as I can get away with.
And then we've got from Sarah. Sarah wanted to know, honestly, who were your biggest influences? I mean, you do music, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but your biggest influences, I guess, for YouTube. Do you have any specific people? Do you know a guy by the name, who said this? Adam the Woo? Is that him?
Adam the who?
Yeah. Wait. Someone said, have you heard of Adam the Woo?
I don't know. It kind of rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to say I started really getting into watching YouTube in probably 2011 or 2012. So there was a lot less people doing it back then. But the two main people that really got me hyped was, of course, Adam the Woo. He used to do a lot of abandoned and theme park stuff. Another guy by the name of Exploring with Josh, who does awesome urban exploration videos. He always finds great locations. He goes abroad and he does that. So he was a huge influence. There's other guys like I would say Dan Bell, who does a lot of cool videos.
Oh yeah, Dan Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple guys called The Proper People. They do some pretty high production value stuff, which I like the cinematic feel. There's these guys in Europe called the Bros of Decay, and the locations they come across, yeah, the locations they come across are phenomenal. They're usually untouched, which you don't see that, in America. They do it in like France and Belgium, I think. Um, Trying to think if there's any more. Those are the main ones. There's other people, that I will watch from time to time that I don't necessarily follow, but those were probably the main influences on my style.
Oh, right on. Yeah, me too. I've heard a lot of those about those guys, and I've watched a few of their videos, and yeah, there's some really good content out there for sure. Somebody was asking, what kind of equipment do you use during your vlogs whenever you're shooting? Do you have special equipment? Is it just your phone? What do you use?
I have a camera that I use. I use a DSLR. I just use the video settings. The camera I own is a Canon Rebel T6i, and then I have a few different lenses I use. I have a standard lens that's what is it? I can't recall off the top of my head, but I have a wide-angle lens that I just got that I'm quite fond of. I have a zoom lens that's good for far-away shots. I use a microphone with a wind cover. I've got a couple different tripods. I spent a pretty penny on all my stuff, and I'm really happy with it. I don't plan on upgrading anytime soon unless it's more accessories. But I did just get a new phone with a killer camera on it that I would like to start using, because there's a lot of places where I'd like to film, but I can't necessarily have my camera at the ready. There's places where you need to have like a media pass. They don't always grant that to you. There's places where you just can't take in a big bulky camera. So I'm excited to use that in the near future. I've done a few test videos and the camera is amazing. So hopefully there'll be some videos out in the near future of me using my new phone as a camera.
Yeah, right. Just recently I was watching Adam's video. I haven't watched him in probably a few weeks, off and on, but there was a video that he put out about his expenses and where he gets his money from. Now, essentially, that's what we both do as well. I'm pretty sure you monetize your stuff, I monetize my stuff. But do you have any other? Do you have a budget? Are you just a? We're both freelance, obviously, and we go where we want. But do you? I mean, people are asking. It says Corey asks, what's your budget and expenses doing the videos? Same as mine.
Yeah, that really depends. The only way I have to fund my adventures right now is just whatever money I have left over from what I make in my day job. I pay my bills, and I decide, am I going to be able to do a road trip this weekend? Is it going to be far? Can I do multiple days? So for the most part, my budget really only consists of putting gas in my car and maybe getting a meal out on the road. But I mean, if I did have a way to fund this stuff, I would like to do a lot more road trips. That's a little more expensive. One thing I'm really interested in is spending the night in haunted hotels. I haven't been able to do that yet because it's expensive to spend the night in a hotel. But like, I would love to be able to afford to stay a night in the Queen Mary, go exploring at nighttime. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the world. I'd like to find out for myself. There's the Cecil Hotel in Hollywood. I don't know if it's in Hollywood. It might be. That one's got a lot of history. There's a haunted clown motel in the middle of the desert. So if I started doing those or more theme parks, things where I had to pay for admission, or if I was going to get a hotel room, I would need some way to finance that. It's a little difficult right now with just, me scraping together my spending money that I haven't used already.
Yeah, and like I have a Spreadshirt as well. I also, I sell my Rockinboxes, and someone was just saying, Kim, she was saying, do you have plans to open a Spreadshirt shop? Um, you know, but that I mean, I guess it comes down to a good design. I mean, I've got a pretty good design with Focus 44, but yourself, I mean, I love Braham Bones. Like, that's a really catchy. That's really good, man. I like that. It's a good.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I would like to do. Yeah, I would like to do a Spreadshirt in the future. I probably need a couple designs first. I also wanted to do like stickers and buttons, because those are things people don't spend or don't mind spending a couple bucks on. I do have a Patreon. I don't have any donators yet, but as soon as that starts happening, it's gonna really create some momentum. I want to start doing prizes to people who do support me. I'd like to send you back something for giving me money every month. I also want to start doing like raffles and stuff. That's a little further down the line, but I know a lot of people just kind of take donations and they don't really give much back. I would like to be the kind of person who I really do appreciate support, whether it's just views or if it actually is you giving me money. So I would like to find a way to give back to my own little community, and I do want to start doing T-shirts, stickers, maybe buttons, hats. Who knows? But that's definitely on the list for the near future.
Oh, that's awesome. Look, the support you're getting already. Someone, Haley said she'd buy one for sure if you had a shirt. Why hasn't it happened yet? I've had people buy some of my shirts. It's been great. And then you're right. You're absolutely right. When it comes down to Patreon, you can't, this is the way I look at it. And I heard Adam's explanation. You can't just put out content and hope people will give you money. You've got to give something back. And anybody, I heard him today, I heard him anyway, anybody can go out and do a video. Anybody. But if you're just giving a video and you're not giving nothing back, I'm sorry, but I agree with you 100%, man. You've got to give something back. And I do as well. Donate.
Yep.
Rockinboxes. Like, I take my time. A lot of time and effort goes into that. But it's not all about that, man. For me, this is a hobby. I love doing it, and I'm pretty sure you're pretty much got the same way I think.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to feel like I'm indebted to people, because I feel like a lot of YouTubers who take money from people, their fans, their viewers kind of get in the mindset where, oh, we're paying for this, we should get a say in it. And I don't ever want that to happen to me. The whole reason I'm doing this is because so I can do what I want to do.
Right.
This is all stuff that I like. And it's great if you guys are into that too. That's the whole basis of this, is that like, I think this stuff is cool. I want to show it to all you guys, and I'm hoping that you guys will think it's cool too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, let's shift gears. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about some of the videos you've done. I just wanted to say, someone said that maybe you could hook up with a paranormal group and help, fund, getting out to, and maybe shooting for them or with them.
That's possible. Definitely. That would be very cool. I'd be interested in that. They could bring all their fancy equipment, and I could just be the fun personality in the background.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Somebody said here you should have your, they wanted, who was it? Susie, she says, I'd buy a Braham Bone t-shirt, and she would also love to see your music on iTunes. Super catchy, your intro.
Yes, the intro. I'm quite proud of the intro.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I really enjoy it. I'm an intro guy too. I put all intros to my stuff. But I need this is really good.
Song. You needed to have a theme song.
Yeah, right on. That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your video. So the Haunted Mystery Shack that you just recently did, that was at Knott's Berry, correct?
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. So that was an attraction that used to be at Knott's Berry Farm. It was in their ghost town there, and basically the Calico ghost town inside Knott's Berry Farm was pieced together. All the buildings were kind of taken from all these other places in California and Nevada. Um, Basically, all these old shacks were brought to the ghost town to give it a very authentic feel. In the early 50s, Walter Knott purchased an old mining town called Calico, which is about halfway between LA and Las Vegas. It's kind of a hip tourist attraction. It's, oh, come visit the old Calico ghost town. It's one of my favorites. It's technically the first ghost town I ever went to, even though it's, inhabited by people. It's more like a tourist destination / mini theme park. But since it's owned by, it was purchased by Walter Knott, it's still, I guess, not owned by that corporation anymore. But they still have a huge tie-in. A lot of the things at the Knott's ghost town look very similar to the Calico ghost town. So basically, I want to say it was in 2000, they shut down the Haunted Shack at Knott's, and a few years later, they opened the Mystery Shack at the Calico Ghost Town. So that's what I was doing in that video.
Oh, right on. And Sandy has chimed in the slightly above average adventures of Sand Dinkler. Gosh,
all right.
It's a mouthful and a half. She's great. And she puts up some great videos. We were talking off air about her, and she says that was one of her favorites.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
I should have a video of me exploring the whole town, but like I said, sometimes you end up with way more footage than you expected, so I'm still trying to edit all that footage down.
Yeah, there you go. And I know what it's like to edit, brother, man. Good luck. It's a pain, but we get through it, don't we?
Yeah, it's really satisfying when you finally have a finished product.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Glenn asks, Glenn Tofton, of course, our good buddy there. He says, how did you actually come up with the name for your channel?
Okay. Well, the whole Braham Bones thing that started a few years back. I've been in a number of bands, and excuse me, they're, for the most part, they've been punk bands, so I kind of needed a little more edgy name, a stage name. My name is slightly awkward, so I thought if I could make it a little more catchy, people might actually remember my name. Because when I meet somebody, I have to repeat my name 5 times sometimes. It's crazy. People like, the what? Yeah. Yeah, some people just can't pronounce it. So
Braham.
I came up with that.
Braham.
Yeah. Like Green with a B. Come on, people. Yeah, so I came up with that a few years ago, and for some reason I switched my Facebook name to that, so that's kind of just been how I've been known on social media and all that. The alternative adventures thing, I thought it was clever to have an alliteration in front of an alliteration. And I mean, I go on adventures, and I kind of tend to go off the beaten path. I'm not going to all these grand tourist destinations. I don't plan on going to Disneyland anytime soon. And I mean, honestly, the whole alternative thing has to do with I don't want to say the lifestyle I live, but sort of, kind of. But it all kind of ties into my personality, and I just thought that would be a really catchy thing, Alternative Adventures with Braham Bones, and it really rolls off the tongue. I'm gonna keep it. It sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think it's amazing too, and there's a lot of people out there that like it. I was gonna ask you now, shift gears to your bands. You mentioned that you've been in a few bands. So give us a little rundown of bands that you were with and the style of music, genre of music that you play, and is it wide variety, whatever? Just give us a whole, give us what you do.
All right. I guess I've been playing music for most of my life. I was in the school band and all that. I did marching band, jazz band, played trombone. I picked up the electric bass when I was probably 13. I started playing, rock and roll, blues, funk, that kind of stuff. I was in a lot of just, generic rock bands. When I was a teenager, I started getting into punk rock. So I started playing that. see, I was in a couple small-time bands in high school, just like filling in for people or you know, things of that nature. Just like, oh, we're playing this one gig at this place, we might get paid. I got to college and I started studying jazz and jazz bass. I decided that I really wanted to be a bass player. That occupied most of my time.
Sure.
I was always playing in at least a couple bands, whether it be a jazz band. You know, I was still going with the same, you know, rock, funk, blues bands, classic rock covers, playing bars. The first, I had a couple original bands, but the first really cool band I was in 2012. That was like a ska punk band, three-piece ska band. It was a really good band, but it just wasn't happening. It wasn't gelling. So that kind of fell through, even though it had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I was in another band after that. That was a psychobilly band, which I'm sure not a lot of you are familiar with psychobilly. It's like punk rock and rockabilly kind of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of like a hardcore greaser kind of thing, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And so I was playing a upright bass in that band, which was a lot of fun. That band kind of fell through. They were just okay. I was in another band recently that was like just like a progressive kind of hardcore punk band. That was a great band.
Hang on. We had somebody. How did he get into here? Yeah. I don't know. What did you do? He sabotaged.
He told me to click on the link.
Oh, you said.
Oh, Sean sent me the wrong link.
I told you. No.
All right, I'll go back. I didn't want to hang out anyway.
All right. We'll hang out later, Jeff.
Oh, apparently, I posted the wrong link. I'm sorry. Who sent me the link?
I sent you the right. I said it was. That's okay.
Oh, well. Nice little visit from Jeff.
Oh, that was nice. Hey, it was nice to see Jeff.
To see Jeff.
Everybody's laughing.
I wish I could. I wish I could see everybody. I can only see you and me.
Well, like I said, you just have to click back and go on the screen there where the link for the YouTube, the one I gave you.
For the YouTube. The YouTube. I just have the Hangout link.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you again.
Apparently, there's a little bit of confusion.
That's okay. Hey, Jeff, I can't believe that was fantastic. He's like, yeah. I'll get out of here.
Could have been a lot worse.
Everybody's like,
yeah,
okay, here it is again. There you go. Just click on that.
All right. Well, I'm doing.
I can end you. Fantastic.
Okay, there you go.
That's going to be great when I edit this.
I know, right?
Jeff is the hero. Oh my gosh. The one I just PM'd you is the one you should be sharing out. All
right.
Oh
okay,
my gosh.
Now I can see everybody for the most part. Anyways, so
no worries, Jeff.
Yeah, so I was the band I was talking about, that was last year. That was actually a really great band. We put one video on YouTube of one of our songs.
Right.
That one video had more views in 1 month than I'm probably gonna get in a year. No, it got like 6,000 views in 1 month. That project fell apart. They were called the Fits. There's still a link up if you're into punk rock music. It's a really good band. I'm disappointed that that had to fold. But since then, I felt a little lost. So I kind of joined these other two bands where I'm playing guitar in a band. I've never done that before. I'm playing acoustic guitar and singing, so that's new. That's just a two-piece. It's me and my other friend who normally plays guitar, but he's playing banjo. That's like a folk punk thing. And then I'm doing a cover band with my dad, actually. My dad's a musician as well. So me and one of his college buddies, we're starting this like cover band where we're kind of doing it like a acoustic. So I'm curious about how that's going to turn out. It's going to be fun. That's going to be more like a a cafe or bar type band that you know, I might make some money so I can fund my YouTube habits. But for music, yeah, it's kind of slow right now. It's picking up. It's been a little different because I've been focusing on YouTube so much. I'm normally in at least 2 bands at a time. So I went a long time without even playing very much music because I was so focused on doing the YouTube, and I'm not disappointed.
No, that's awesome. And you know, how many instruments do you play? And just I'm going to add to that. Somebody was asking, I think it was, just give me 1 second. Sarah, he asked if you were going to play any, you know, banjos in your video. Videos.
And actually, I have this idea that when I go to an abandoned structure, maybe possibly the airplane hangars I was talking about, I kind of want to take an acoustic instrument just to see how it'll sound in a giant warehouse, basically. So I have thought about it, of bringing that into the videos. I've also thought about like filming band practice and stuff and just kind of throwing that on my channel. So I've definitely thought about it. I haven't acted on it because I don't have a solid plan yet, but I've definitely thought about it.
Right on. And you know what, like it'll eventually come, and you'll sit down one day and you'll be like, hey, you know what, maybe the band might need me to video something, or, you know, especially when you're doing your band practice, that would be kind of really, that'd be good for, you know, a video, you know what I mean? Like even just sitting in a garage and just shooting a video and then adding music to it on, that would be really cool. I just an idea.
Yeah. Actually, when I originally started, I wanted to do all the music myself, but I quickly learned that I would not be able to film all this stuff, edit all this stuff, and then have time to go record, you know, multiple instruments and edit all that together.
Okay.
So what I really want to start doing is using you know, people that I know. I'm friends with a lot of musicians. I want their music for my videos. That way I can avoid copyright issues, and I can kind of promote my friends' art as well. I had a few on my mall video. I had a buddy of mine who's in like a metal band. That song fit pretty well in the abandoned mall. My brother is a musician. He does like hip hop stuff. He does the beats, and then he'll do, you know, like the singing and the rapping over it. I'm not a big fan of, you know, rap and hip hop, so I'm glad I got to use their music in my videos, and I'm hoping that more people will donate their music to my videos.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And you got to be careful of that too. I think you better get something written when people do give you music, because I've already ran into that problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy from California. Yeah, I can give you his address. I think he's moved. It doesn't matter. The point is,
I can hunt him down for you.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, he wouldn't be too hard to find because he videos in and around your area too. And that would, we're not talking about Adam the Woo. But anyway, yeah. So where are we going with this? I was gonna say, or not. I was gonna say, someone asked me, or someone asked you rather. Sorry. What are you listening to currently?
Like music-wise,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm still listening to the same old stuff I always listen to. I like listening to a lot of, you know, a lot of punk rock, a lot of 90s and 2000s punk rock. Love me some ska. Always listening to the old stuff, the new stuff. I've been listening to a lot of like folk and country and like outlaw country, and I stumbled upon this like modern stuff where it's a bunch of like dirty, smelly, like hippie punks that play like bluegrass, and they like hop trains and stuff. So the bands I'm in are kind of going that direction. So I've been listening to that. But I mean, my music taste has been the same for a long time.
Oh, that's all right. Hey, that's good. You know, I'm a DJ. I've been a DJ for 26 years, so yes. I do everything. I like everything. I mean, there's not much music I don't like. You know what I mean? Country, you name it, whatever. So enough about me talking about me, because this is about you. I wanted to ask you, you talked about the abandoned mall, and I was really impressed. That place was really cool. And where it's located,
Yeah.
like you said, it was in an area where, I mean, I'm guessing a lot of traffic goes through there, but it's kind of off. So how did that all come about whenever you saw it? And what was it like? I know what it's like to walk through an abandoned place for sure, but for yourself.
So that one I found on YouTube. I watched a couple other people do that video. It is in the middle of LA. It's a densely populated area. So I've seen videos of people like skateboarding in there. I saw another guy who kind of does similar stuff to what I do in there. I knew somebody who actually filmed a music video in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I mean it's a somewhat well-known spot. I mean they filmed movies in there. I was actually watching a movie where it just kind of I didn't even expect it. They went into this like place. And I was like, oh, that's the mall. I've been there. I've been there. So yeah, I found that out through YouTube. I did my research. I found out where it was. I went down there with one of my buddies. And it's funny because in all the videos I watched, people were like crawling through holes in the wall, hopping fences and stuff. We parked on the parking structure and opened a door, and we were inside. And just the feeling of opening that door, yeah, just the feeling of opening that door and walking in there, like I just like my jaw dropped and I was like whispering because I didn't know what to say. And it was that might be the most impressive location I've done thus far. But just like being in there, like it was enormous and it was empty and the lighting in there was incredible. And I was so excited, but still like nervous to be in there. I didn't know who was going to be in there, if anybody at all. But that was definitely a very exciting video to film. I didn't even talk much during the video because I was taking it all in myself. But really loved that location. Very fortunate to get in there. They are supposed to demolish that building soon, so I'm glad I got in there before they do that.
Right on. I'm gonna make a suggestion to you. If you can, get in there. Whenever they start demolishing it, if you can get down there and film it when they're demolishing it.
Yes.
And that way
That
you'll
would be
have
cool.
before and after kind of thing. And it's too
Exactly.
bad you didn't. Like, was that mall? When did it close down? It seemed like it's been like there for a long time. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was one or two stores at the.
For a long time. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it has been. There was a couple stores that were still open, like one of the flagship stores, and then or the anchor stores, and then I think one other one. But like when we went there was maybe 10 cars parked there. I think the mall was abandoned in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And they just recently, a couple years ago, started ripping all the stuff out.
Okay. Yeah, it's
so it's been barren for a while. I've seen videos and pictures where you could still see like the signs and the marquees for the stores that were in there. You could see, when you look into a store and like the color scheme, you say, oh, I know that's it's red and white. It's got to be a Target. It's yellow and blue. It's Walmart. So you could kind of tell where the stores were. But when I went in there, everything was gone.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that in the video. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, kids and people are just so destructive. It's too bad because, you want to see some of these places the way they were, like when Dan Bell goes into those malls and some of the walls and everything somewhat in the same condition it really was whenever the tenants left kind of thing, But I wanted to talk about your video, Doc. By the way, I'm just going to say that Sandy said props to you because she doesn't have the stones to go into any abandoned places. And I don't know what it is about us. I think it's our kid, the kid instinct, exploration, exploration,
definitely.
and there's a tunnel. Let's go in it. Yeah.
I mean,
right?
Courage is when you're still afraid, but you do it anyway. So, not gonna say I wasn't scared or nervous, because it is very nerve-wracking. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what's the spookiest location you've been to that was not caught on film?
That's a great question. Most of my abandoned videos, I kind of was like, well, I have a camera now, I have to go in. But I mean, I'm sure there's a couple when we were kids where we would just be looking for a place to drink beer or something like that. There was this one that they used to call the Hobo Dungeon. That was kind of a place near my house, and it was all tagged up. There was graffiti everywhere. You could see where people had bonfires. I remember being younger and going into that one. It was a little spooky, but for the most part, all my good abandoned stuff has been recently, and I was lucky enough to capture it all on film.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I was going to push on. I think I'd mentioned the Back to the Future. Did I say Back to the Future location when you went to Doc Brown's house?
Yeah, I think that's where this was going.
Yeah, okay. It's because Haley loved that one, and me too. I mean, when you there's only so many. I mean, I videoed. We've had the DeLorean here and everything like that. You can only video that so much, and people get kind of like, oh yeah, it's the DeLorean again, the flux capacitor.
Yeah,
but when you actually go to the, where you were, that was really great. That was really cool.
It was unreal. That's it's always been one of my favorite movies. Everybody's like, oh, my trilogy is Star Wars. My trilogy is Lord of the Rings. Mine was always Back to the Future.
Oh, me too.
So it was, yeah, I love those movies. I'm all about time travel. But just being there was a very cool feeling because you could, you understand like how it was going down at the time, where the actors would have stood, how they had everything set up, how it's changed over time, where something might have been before it's no longer there, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to do the filming locations, and those ones are dear to my heart. So that was really cool for me to do.
Right on. I was going to reach out to you. I did the Police Academy filming location in Toronto, and I was going to reach out to you and see if you wanted to do Police Academy too, or if you could do Police Academy too, because that was all shot in California and Los Angeles area. Any thoughts?
Right. I have this weird thing about the Police Academy movies where they all kind of bleed together. So I would have to watch it again to figure out where it was. But I mean, honestly, there's other filming locations that might take precedent, but it's definitely not off the table.
Oh, right on. No, that's good. I'm gonna PM you a few.
All right, cool. And yeah, and any collaborations, if anybody's watching that want to do a collaboration, I'm game for that. That's like next on my list, is I want to hook up with some other YouTubers to do some videos.
Oh, absolutely. And it'll be really good. You and I should collab, because a lot of movies were shot up in Toronto, and a lot of movies were shot in LA and in and around the California area. So I mean, if we did that, we could possibly work something out where we would do that. Would be great. That would be really cool.
That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely. Two heads are better than one.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just we're winding it down. If there's anybody out there that had any other questions for Bonesy, my buddy here, he's done some fantastic things. There was one question that actually came up. It was about you in at Knott's Berry Farms, Not Scary Farms. So, what's happening there? If you could tell us a little bit what's going on.
Yeah. So, a few years ago, well, I mean, hold on. I mean, I've always been into spooky stuff and Halloween and everything. When I was a kid, we always used to go to Knott's Scary Farm, the Halloween haunt event that's held at Knott's Berry Farm. So that's always been very, very dear to me. And I always thought, wouldn't that be cool if I could be one of the monsters that actually got to scare people? So a few years ago, I acted on that impulse. I got hired to be a scare actor at Knott's for their Halloween haunt event, which they claim is the very first Halloween theme park attraction. And of course, they're going to say it's the best. Personally, I believe it. But this will be the third year I'll be doing that. And I just got my rehire card in the mail. So basically, I was good enough last year that they asked me to come back. That begins at the end of this month. So basically, Halloween is now for me, and I love it. It's my favorite time of year. It's one of my favorite holidays. So I'm really stoked to be doing this again. I get to get paid to mess with people. What's better than that?
Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome. So can you tell us what exactly you do, or is that secret?
Yeah. No, I can definitely talk about that. But there's two different kinds of monsters. There's the ones that are on the streets that kind of they will interact with you as you're walking around from attraction to attraction. They'll creep out from the fog. And then there's also the monsters that are in the mazes. Knott's usually has at least 10 different mazes in the park. I enjoy doing the mazes. I'll probably do streets one day, but I'm going to do the same maze I was in last year, I think. I'm really excited about going back, and this year, I don't know how possible it's going to be, but I want to try to do a nightly vlog of what goes down at Knott's Scary Farm.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Behind the scenes. So that's one of the reasons I got this new phone, is because they're not going to be happy if I'm running around backstage at a theme park with a giant camera. So I'm definitely going to try to do that to give you guys more of an insight on what goes on, behind the scenes at a Halloween event. So it's probably going to be some spooky stuff, probably a bunch of goobers dicking around. I'm excited to do that. I haven't hashed out all the details, but I'm very excited to try that out.
Wow, that's cool. Quickly, so Jeff says that the caves, whenever they did the in Police Academy 2, there was a scene where it was at the zoo, and that was used on the Starsky and Hutch film, I guess. Cushy Crunch, very cool that he said, thanks for a great interview, guys. And you did amazing, Bonesy. Says plans for the rest of the year for your channel. What are the plans for the rest of your year for your channel? And also a follow up on that. Where do you see your channel going in the following year?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. First, I do want to give a shout out to Cushy Crunch. I'm pretty sure I know who that is. My brother. Yeah, old friend of mine who would have been familiar with the bands I was talking about. But
right on.
Yeah, but yeah, for the future of my channel, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep pushing. I really want to do videos more frequently. I want to be able to travel more. The whole reason I started this channel was basically to give me an excuse to go do a bunch of cool things and travel. So I really want to, hopefully in the years to come, I can gain some financial support so I can actually go out and do the things I set out to do. I'd like to do road trips cross country. I would like to travel abroad. I know everybody likes watching YouTube videos of people traveling to different countries. That's something that's definitely on my list. But yeah, I want to keep pushing this until I can't push it any longer. As long as I'm having fun, I'm going to keep doing it, and I've been having a blast so far. So that's all that really matters.
That's amazing, man. That's a good way. That's a good outlook, Bones. So I'm going to ask everybody, thank you very much for joining us, this evening, and we appreciate the support that you guys give us. Bones appreciates it. I'm just going to ask him where he can be found, so that way if anybody's watching this later on, the rebroadcast, please, go ahead, Bones, tell everybody where you're at.
All right, you guys can find me on YouTube, of course, as Braham Bones. That's my channel name. Of course, Alternative Adventures with Braham Bones is the long name. You can find me on Facebook. If you want to friend me on Facebook, that's totally cool. I'm on there as Braham Bones. My Instagram is where I post a lot of my pictures from the places I go to, and that is going to be Chony Boy Curtis, ChonieboyCurtis. I should probably change that to Braham Bones too, but I think Chony Boy Curtis is hilarious. I'm gonna start doing Snapchat and Twitter probably just so I can cover all my bases, but I'm not the most tech savvy guy, so it's probably gonna be a while before I'm up on that. So for the meantime, check out my YouTube, check out my Instagram, and even if you want to friend me on Facebook, that's totally cool too.
That's awesome. One more thing. What do you got coming up?
All right.
Sorry, can you say?
So the other day I kind of did a spur of the moment video. I was really itching to go out and film somewhere. I was driving around and I found this really cool location. I don't think anybody's filmed it yet. It's only been abandoned for a couple months actually. I was able to find an abandoned hotel. It's more like a motel, and it's right on the beach. It's right off the highway. There's a lot of car traffic, and there's the train going by. You can hear the ocean waves. But I'm really excited that I got to go to a hotel. It was a really fun video. I'm editing that right now. Hopefully that'll be out tomorrow or the next day. I'm done with principal editing. I just got to put the finishing touches, add some stuff, probably edit that again because I'm a perfectionist. But that video will be coming out. It'll probably say something like abandoned beach hotel or something like that. So if you guys want to subscribe to my channel, you'll get the notification when I upload that video. I'm really stoked about it. Another abandoned video. It's going to be a good one, so check that one out.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to say goodbye. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us this week. And don't forget, tomorrow night, I'm going to be interviewing Ari Lehman, the first Jason from Friday the 13th. Really
Watch it.
Yeah, thanks.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about that. He's a really good guy, Ari Lehman. And so like I say at the end of my videos, I'm going to say it, and then I'll have Bonesy say it at the end. I love you guys. Be good to one another. And what's your final words there, Bones?
I don't know. Am I supposed to have something?
It's all good. It's all good.
Be excellent to each other and party on dudes.
Superb. That was perfect. Okay. See you guys tomorrow night, I hope. 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Rockinboxes presents. Don't forget, Sean Rockinboxes. Please subscribe, and please subscribe to Braham Bones. He's amazing, and he was a great guest.
Yeah, check out Sean's stuff too. He puts out incredible material. He's a great dude. I love your support. Quick shout out to all the Outcasts too. I know they're all watching. They are my rock. A huge, a lot of support. But you're the man. I love your stuff. Everybody watch his videos. He interviews incredible people. So I feel special now.
Oh, and no, this has been this was great. Thank you very much. So you guys, we'll see you again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and that's it. Cut.